Kia ora and good morning. Welcome to another super fantastic sparkling day. How are you? I'm Helen Brahms and I hope you are having a wonderful start to your morning. We have had a great start to the morning. I now have a new morning routine, which is very interesting to learn about because our topic, today's challenge, we're going to talk about today's challenges. So we've had a good walk. We're now into a new morning routine, kinda, sorta. But I wanted to talk to you today about your three challenges. So the first one's mindset, then we have a business challenge, and then we have the fun challenge. So we've got three challenges. So the mindset is all about pattern interrupt. Sometimes we get caught up in life where we go through the same routine. We get up, we get showered, we get dressed, we go have breakfast, we get in the car, we drive to work, we work for however long we work, we get in the car, we drive home, we have dinner, we may watch a movie, and then we go to bed. The next morning we get up and we do the same thing all over again. We get into a pattern. We get into that pattern of doing that. All of a sudden, we now have this pandemic going on, which has completely thrown a lot of people off track. They're like, what the hell is this? What do? I have no clue. All of a sudden, their daily patterns have been completely interrupted. Now, I totally get that there are some people out there who need to have I wouldn't say a strict, but they need to have a daily routine. They have their daily routine because it helps them cope with life. I totally get that. And for them, they are probably way off base right now and wondering what the heck to do. For the rest of us, though, this is a very good time because pattern interrupts are very good for breaking us out of routines. And that can be a very good thing. So my pattern interrupt was the fact that the virus came along. I can't travel right now. I am sitting here in a campground till at least the 1st of May. I've been at this campground now. I'm in my third week here. So I still have, 3 more weeks left before I can leave here. Maybe. But it's put my plans of my 7-month road trip around the US, it's put it around North America, it's put it completely on hold. And it's like, oh well, we'll just go with the flow. And some people can do that. They can adapt very quickly and go with the flow. Me, I'm just like, okay, can't travel right now. What can I do? And now I'm looking at my business. I'm reevaluating my business. I'm looking at my goals in life. I'm looking at my visions for my life. I'm reassessing everything because I've had this massive pattern interrupt. And that's what this virus has done. It has given everybody a massive pattern interrupt. It's taken you out of your daily routines. And when you're out of your daily routines, yes, to some people it feels very strange. It's kind of like sitting down to eat, and if you normally, this is weird for me, if you normally use your right hand with your fork to lift food to your mouth, try using the other hand. That's kind of what it feels like right now, is that you're not sure which ways, some people aren't sure which way's up, which way's sideways, where they're going, what they're doing. They're kind of almost in a panic because this pattern interrupt has been forced on them. Some people have lost jobs over it. Some people are on furlough from their jobs, or have been temporarily laid off until the economy changes. There's all sorts of stuff going on right now. There's patterns in, when we go out, what we do. In some places, you're required to be wearing masks when you leave your house. You've got to maintain 6 feet of difference. And somebody like me who loves physical touch, that's hard. That is really hard. So I'm having to so poor Zeffy has become my cuddle buddy, basically. So if I need a hug, I go hug Zeffy. But the pattern interrupts can be a good thing. Like if you get stuck in life, it's a great time, especially with ones like this, to sit down and just reevaluate everything. Where are you in life right now? Are you where you want to be? If it's yes, great. If it's no, what do you need to change in order to get to where you want to be? And now that you've got this huge pattern interrupt on right now, what are you willing to do in order to get to where you want to be? Maybe you've got this big pattern interrupt because the direction you were heading is not the direction you were going to. I have the book, I think I still have it. Do I have it close by? I think I have it close by. I have the book right here. I'm just getting it. It's in my little stack. Have this awesome book, The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. Awesome book. She has a chapter in here, it's chapter 6, it's called Obstacles Are Detours in the Right Direction. So when you get a pattern interrupt in anything, look at it as maybe this is not the path I'm supposed to be going, maybe I'm supposed to be going in a different direction, or maybe this is not the process I'm supposed to be doing, so we're going to tie it back to work because we've got your projects coming up for business. Maybe it's not the process I'm meant to be doing. Maybe there's a better way to do it. Maybe there's a more efficient way that I could be doing stuff. And that's what's causing this blockage, this breakdown. So when you have a breakdown, you have a pattern interrupt, anything like that, stop and think about it. What is it that life is trying to tell you? I have been through a lot of pattern interrupts. A lot. I've had a lot of challenges through life. So all that I talk about when I do these mindset things is all the things that I have learned through personal experience. So it's taking my personal experience and saying, okay, how can I use my personal experiences to help others? Because somebody said the other day, they said, do you have a degree in psychology? I went, nope. I said, I have a degree in life. I probably have a PhD in life by now. That's all that I've been through. But I have been through a lot. And people turn and say, well, I haven't been through that much. Believe me, when you sit down and you look back over your life and look at the stuff that's happened there, where have your pattern interrupts happen? Some people call them a defining moment. When was your last defining moment? What caused you to make that, to take from this routine that you were in and suddenly go in a different direction? What caused that in your life at that point in time? That is a pattern interrupt. It's like I'm playing, what am I playing here? Oh, Canfield. So I'm just going to flip this around so you can see. So this here's a card game I'm playing on the computer, and I usually play it while I have breakfast in the morning. And the idea is that up here, so it's telling you queens are the foundation cards to go up here. These are your piles that you can put cards on, but they've got to be in the red-black order or black-red order. These cards here can only be released to either be dragged onto one of these piles or to fill in a gap or to go up here in place. And these are the cards that you get to flip through and see if you can put them anywhere. So Four of Hearts, can't put that anywhere. So I'm building up on this one and down here. And the idea is to get everything stacked in order by suit up here. And so sometimes we can get into the pattern that when you're playing this game, that you get in the pattern, it's sort of like, okay, I need to find a queen, and you're just flipping through this and you're going, queen, queen, no queen, gotta find a queen, gotta find a queen, gotta find a queen. And you might actually miss it. If you did notice, I did miss it. Did you see that? I purposely did that. So there's my queen, so I can now put that over there. Now I have a 7 here, and it's like, okay, so now to complete this, I need a king of diamonds, I need the ace of diamonds. Well, oh, look, here it is, and I don't know how long that's been sitting there. So, there's sort of things, there's patterns that you're looking for. When you're looking for something, you could miss the other opportunities. Like I was so busy looking for the queen, I missed the fact that there was an ace sitting here that could be up here, which means that should I turn up the 2 of diamonds as the top card here, I could now place it over here and keep the game moving along. Instead, I got fixated on missing the queen, that I was missing other opportunities. So when you look at pattern interrupts, they help us stop and think, oh, what am I missing? I'm missing something somewhere along the way, or I've been put in this position to learn from it because I need to maybe make some changes in my life. I need to make some changes in my mindset. I need to go in a completely different direction to what I'm doing now. Maybe your direction could be, you're in a job you kind of love it, but you don't really love it, and you're sort of like, yeah, well, I've got a job for now, that's okay. And you kind of get into the routine of getting up in the morning, doing your job, coming home, and you get into that rut. You get stuck in the rut. But the pattern interrupt comes along, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't have a job anymore. What am I going to do? It was like, and if there's any of my former Marriott people on here watching, there's no offense taken, because when I was working for Marriott, I absolutely love working for the company. It's a great company to work for. They're doing some phenomenal things during this whole coronavirus with taking care of their associates and everything. I would not hesitate if people want to go into the hospitality industry to recommend people go and work for Marriott. I worked for them for 10 years. So I was in their training department, and we went through a huge reshuffle. So while I was in the training department in 2008, Brad got his cancer. During what we call the 4 months of hell, which is basically the summer months, where we had the temporary ileostomy from hell, there was a lot of stress in our life. And during that time in June, July, we started looking at what business can we start from home to bring in some extra income, because Brad wasn't working at that time. I was only working part-time hours, so our income wasn't great, and we wanted to increase our income. So that there was a massive pattern interrupt, him getting cancer. Huge pattern interrupt. So we started looking around, and we ended up doing our home business, buying a cruise planners franchise. So I was building it part-time, thinking now, okay, I do enjoy working for Marriott, but I've always been somebody who wants to work for myself, be in business for myself. And at the time, I needed to be working for Marriott. I had to be there. I had to be in that job. But then this pattern interrupted, and we ended up in the middle of all the stress and everything else. The worst time to do any life-altering decisions is when you're completely under stress. We were under a huge amount of stress, and we bought a business. Don't ask me why, but it was the best decision we ever made. And so I started working that part-time, thinking, now, in order to get this full-time, I need to be selling need to be selling so much in travel in order to make this much commission, which would then allow me to leave my full-time job and go into this full-time. And so I'm busy thinking about this, and a year and a half goes by, or basically a year goes by, and our department, the trading department, starts undergoing this huge reshuffle and things. And then it gets to the point the following year in 2010 where we get to the point of we're now going to have, these are the new positions coming out, these are the positions we're eliminating, and so you're going to need to apply for the new positions, including if you're in one of the jobs that is still in the thing, you're going to have to apply for your own job. My job had gone away. It was not a problem. The other positions that were available could be done from anywhere in the country. So I went and applied for them, but in the back of my mind, it was going, you're not going to get any of those jobs. This is the kick in the pants you need. And so when they called me, it was the 16th of June 2010, and I remember that day very well because it was my youngest's 21st birthday, and it was the day that we arrived in California after spending 5 days driving across country with a fully loaded U-Haul and a dog in the middle of the heat that was going on at the time. And I think we experienced every weather thing you could just about possibly imagine. We had high winds, not tornadoes or hurricanes though, thank goodness. We had high winds, we had rain, we had hail, we had hot days. We did not get snow, and this because this was in June. And but we experienced a lot of different weather along the way. And for us, it was a big pattern interrupt. We're moving. That's a huge pattern interrupt. We were moving from one coast to the other. So we were out in the California desert. It was 103 degrees according to the little temperature thingy on the rearview mirror. We had just loaded up with gas. Brad pulled off to the side there and went back in to think there was a Dairy Queen there, and so we decided we'll get ice creams. And so I'm letting Gus out and walking Gus around, and he's doing his thing. And I put Gus back in the car and given him some water, and then Brad comes over with these two, I don't know how tall they were. It seemed like a lot of ice cream on that little cone. Two Dairy Queen ice creams that have been dipped in chocolate. And so we're sitting there slurping on these things, so the ice cream's melting underneath the chocolate. We're sitting in the car, he's got the engine running, so the AC is running, and the phone rings. And I'm looking down at the number, and then I recognized the first 6 digits were Marriott head office. So I thought, maybe this is about the interviews that I did a couple of months ago. Pick it up, and sure enough, it was the person from recruiting who said to me, she said, I'm very sorry to tell you this. I said, first of all, I said, just to let you know, if you hear any slurping, we're sitting in 103 degree heat here in California and eating Dairy Queen ice cream. So please excuse the slurping. She was like, oh, that's fine. And then she gets very serious, and she's like, I'm sorry, but I have to tell you that you're getting none of the jobs that you applied for. And I went, none of them? And she went, no. I said, that's awesome. And there was a complete silence at the other end of the phone. Complete silence. And I actually wondered if she had hung up, because I actually pulled the phone away, had a look at it. Yep, still connected. And then I hear this, it is? I said, yeah. I said, it's awesome. I said, that is great. I said, okay, what happens next? And so she told me what was going to be happening next and all of that. I had thrown her out of her pattern. She had her set thing. These are the people I have to call to let them know they haven't got their positions. This is what I have to tell them. So she had set in her mind what her pattern of delivery was going to be. I threw it out the window by turning around and telling her it was awesome. And we get on the road, and Brad's sort of like, well, was that recruiting? I said, yeah. And he says, what job did you get? Because of my excited, enthusiastic response, he thought I had gotten one of the new positions. And I looked and went, none of them? He goes, what do you mean you got none of them? And he's like, and he's like spurring up a blue storm there and driving down the road. And I said, and I'm bouncing in the seat full of excitement going, you don't get it, you don't get it, you don't get it. I said, now I can go full time in the travel business and blah, 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 blah. And I was telling him all the good stuff that could now happen because I no longer had a full-time job. And all he is doing is going, oh, well, if you've done this and you've done that, blah, 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 blah. And he was just like, he was not a happy camper. But I finally got through to him that it was a good thing. So huge pattern interrupt. It changed the direction that we were now going. So look at this time. God, I've gone completely off track on this one. Look at this time as a time to reassess things, evaluate your life. Are you where you want to be? If not, what do you need to do to get to where you want to be? Do you have written down your vision for your life? Where do you want to be in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? What do you want your life to look at? If you had to write your obituary today, And I'm not talking about this person died, they are survived by blah, 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 and predeceased by blah, 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 boom, done. I'm talking the full newspaper editorial obituary, which talks about that person's life. If you were to go and write your obituary today, what would it say? So that is your task today. Look at your pattern interrupts, take them as a challenge, or not as a challenge, take them as a turn of direction, a chance for you to start fresh. What can you do today that can set you on the path to the life that you want to live? What is your life going to look like when time comes and your obituary has to be written? What is it going to say? So start thinking about that. That is your challenge today for the mindset challenge. Jeepers, running on the mindset challenge. Okay, business challenge. Sorry, I'm on a whole tangent. I mean, it's just such a passionate subject of mine, the pattern interrupt. Only because I've had so many of them in my life, and when I see people are so upset about some of the interrupts that come along, it's like you don't get the opportunities that are now there in front of you. Especially when it comes to things like losing jobs or having to move, stuff like that. They don't recognize the new opportunities because some people don't like change. But here's two things you can be sure of. Two things that are permanent in your life: taxes and change. And death. Those are the three. There's three permanent things in life that will always be there. There's nothing you can do about them: taxes, change, and death. So what's your change going to be? You got to accept change as it comes. Yes, it may upset you for a little bit, but it's that pattern interrupt. Okay, enough about pattern interrupt. Whew. All right, business challenge for today. We're working on our projects. How's your project board looking? Do you have some squares removed off your project board? Did you get some into your calendar yesterday to get them done? Well, now today we want you to look at the smaller projects. When you've got those project steps up there, you say we're doing the 45-minute to an hour, getting them into your calendar, getting them done. Today we're going to look at the fillers. And those are the ones that are 5, 10, 15, 20, up to 30 minutes of time that you now have on your hands that you can go and grab one, two, or three of those and get them crossed off. Using this process with a board and having times on each of the little steps helps you get those projects done a lot quicker than normal. And this is the stuff that you can do. You can have a completely different color for stuff that had to be outsourced for somebody else to do. It could be you're waiting around on somebody. Give them a call, check up on it. How are they doing with that step of the project that you need them to get done? So that's your thing for today, is projects. What's the progress? Use the fillers, the little 5, 10, 15, 20, 30-minute fillers. Grab some of those off the board and fill in those time gaps today. Your fun challenge. This has always been a favorite one of mine. Growing up, we moved a lot. We moved a lot. We had a lot of boxes. So your fun challenge for today is boxes. Boxes of all shapes and sizes. What can you create with your boxes? Maybe the kids want to create a spaceship or a racing car or a playhouse or a castle or a fort. Use boxes today to to just go have fun with. It could be just a small box. It could be a large box. It could be a huge box. We had my dad at one point, somehow, I don't know how he got these, but he had these massive boxes that had car parts in them. They were huge, thick cardboard boxes. Us kids loved those things. They sat in the corner of the shed that we had that we used as like a playhouse, and we loved clambering up and into them, and they were awesome. We used them for all sorts of things. But take the boxes, create something with them. If you're by yourself, create your dream car with boxes, or create use them as furniture. Rearrange the furniture in the house, but use the boxes to figure it out first. Have fun with it. Make, dioramas? Is that the things you used to put in shoe boxes? Yeah, make some of those. Have fun with boxes today. It's all about the boxes. No matter what size the box, find a use for the box. Make it creative. See how creative you can get. Break it down, cut it up, create what you want with it. Just get creative. Construct something creative out of boxes today. Okay, I've taken up way more of your time than I totally intended to, and I apologize for. Actually, no, I really don't. I don't apologize for that, because that mindset thing on pattern interrupts and making changes in your life is so important that we need to stop. We need time to stop, pause, and take stock. And this is a great time to be doing that right now. So have a super fantastic sparkling day. I will catch you guys later this evening. Oh, and if your birthday happens to be in January, September, June, February, May, or March, those are the squares I have left on my birthday bingo card. I need to find people with birthdays in January, September, June, February, May, September, and March. So if your birthdays are in those months, send me a private message so I can get you to sign up to get a birthday card and gift from me on your birthday in those months, and it'll help me cross another square off my birthday bingo. So have a super fantastic sparkling day, and we will catch you guys this evening. He konera.